Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. Welcome to the Spin Mop Showdown. We're going to compare Libman's Tornado from O-Cedar's EasyRing system. They're both the spin mop types, which are really nice, but there's different features. Which one's the winner? Stay tuned. Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay from dirtfarmerjay.com. Spin mops have become very, very popular because instead of wringing out a dirty mop with your hands, you're able to use a reservoir of water and then put it into a spin device, and by centrifugal force, spin the water, the dirty water out, and keep your hands out of it. It's fast, it's convenient, portable, and it gets you to mopping and the job done a lot faster. But there's some differences between two of the main contenders that we've seen out in the retail market. This is the Libman Tornado, and this is the O-Cedar EasyRing system. Well, let's take a look at each one, and let's start with the Libman and some of the features it has. All right, here's the Libman unit. It's easily recognizable with its brilliant green color, and this is the stow position. So I'm taking the mop, I'm putting it down here, and you're thinking, boy, that's a short mop. That's hard on the back. Well, it would be if that's the actual length you're going to use it at. What you're going to do is pull that lever, let it come back out, and then clip it back. And now that is the working length right there. Very comfortable for me. The head is very sizable, etc. So that's the storage and deployment of it. All right, now to use the spin feature, we make sure the lever's up that allows us to spin. And then we're just going to sit there and spin this like that. And you just stay right up at the top here. You don't have to bend over or anything like that. And then this is the way it dries it out. And if you notice, there's a pivot that's a two-way pivot that allows me, notice the handle's still, but the head can go this way, this way, that way. So in practical use on the floor, I can change angles, I can go around, and you can cover a lot of floor very quickly. And as you can see, because it's a fairly dry mop, I don't have a lot of surface moisture. The floor is going to dry very quickly. And then, of course, I can go right back here, pick this up, put it in here, and spin it again. Let's go ahead and look at the bucket, the spin mechanism, and the carrying handle of how this is all put together. So first of all, notice that the carrying handle goes from the narrow end to the narrow end. So the center of gravity is very nice. The handle feels very substantial, feels comfortable in the grip. Notice that if I put it here, you know, about right there in the center of the handle, the center of gravity is not bad. And to pour out dirty water, I would simply tip it here and use that opening right there. As far as the spin mechanism, the receptacle where the mop head goes, it's freewheeling. So it's almost like a roulette table there. It just spins freely, and the spin action is generated by the helix on the handle. So everything there looks very well. Another thing I really like is some clear markings inside that are easy to read that tell you the capacity that you're filled to, and the max line, because if you overfill it, water is going to be actually submerging the bottom of the spin area, and therefore the mop will not get dry when you spin it out. So that is handy to know. And one other reason you'd want to know the quantity of water you put in there is if you're using cleaning solutions that give you a dilution rate, you know, a cup per gallon or whatever, then that is all there for you. So this has been very handy. I like also that it's very clean, it's easy to see. Now there's something else I would mention though. This plastic is a little rigid. And to be honest with you, this is the second one we've had. We ended up hitting that corner, or maybe it came to us this way where there was a split right there on that mold corner there, and we'd get a drool of moisture out on the floor when we were mopping. Couldn't figure out where it was, finally located it. I probably could have put a swipe of silicone caulk in the inside, but I simply called Libman, and one was back to us in a couple days. No cost, happy to replace it. And so overall, this is a pretty good system. This runs in the mid-40s. at the time of filming. All right, let's now take a look at the O-Cedar model. All right, the O-Cedar EasyRing system. The first thing you'll notice that its handle has a snap area that you can put the handle and it'll sit there a little bit more neatly stowed than the Libman Tornado system does. So that's a nice setup. The other thing is, though, the handle orientation is different. So on the Libman, the handle is connected at the ends the long way, whereas on the O-Cedar, they're sideways. Well, does that matter? Well, maybe so. First of all, it's not as comfortable. And secondly, if I pull this out, even the water in it, the center of gravity is kind of weird on this. If you get more water in it, it's okay, but it always tends to want to lean back this way. As far as pouring out dirty water, you do that by tipping it this way and using the front part of the reservoir here. The sides and the construction is more flexible than the Libman and probably more durable in the sense that it'll give a little bit and is not as brittle. So that is all in its favor. However, the spin on this is generated in a totally different way. So what I'm going to do is let that fall. I'm going to put this in the spin device, and there is nothing on the handle. The handle is a fixed length. It is what it is. It's ready to go. This is a one-way ratchet type of thing. I can't go that way, but I can turn counterclockwise. But to generate a spin, I'm going to step on this pedal and keep my hand in a loose loop around the top of the handle. And then I'm going to just step on that till I get enough of that now I have that head like this. Now, you probably notice, and we'll actually show you a shot of the head side by side, but this one's smaller, it's a little bit lighter, and it's triangular in shape, meaning that it's probably easier to get in corners, around corners, or back in a corner. So this is fairly light. The head swivels forward like this, but does not go side to side, whereas the other one swivels, articulates in different ways. But, you know, you get used with muscle memory of how to utilize the mop. So here we go. Again, you can see it's doing pretty much of a dry mop. When it comes time, we're going to put it back in the solution, and then we'll generate the spin by stepping on the pedal. And there you go, you have the mop. Now, as far as measurement markings inside, we found because of the color of the material and the way they did the embossing, it's very difficult to read the maximum fill line, but you'll develop knowing that you don't want to fill beyond the bottom of the spin tub. And that the measurement lines are hard to see as well. But they're there, but not nearly as well marked as the Libman. All right, so who won the Spin Mop Showdown? Well, we believe the Libman came out on top for a couple of reasons. One, we like the capacity of the head. Number two, we like the balance of the tub and that the handle is very comfortable and it makes it easier to pour the reservoir out the end. The superior markings on the containers also put another point in its favor. And lastly, we really like the spin mechanism on the Libman versus the foot pedal on the O-Cedar. If you buy the O-Cedar, are you going to be mad and ultra disappointed? No, I'm just saying that this had more features that we found to be desirable. Well, in a perfect world, if these two had a baby, and they ended up with all the best features of each, that'd be a real win. In the meanwhile, then we need to make a decision of which one gives us the features that we like the most. And in our case, we think it's the Libman. If you'd like to check out where you can get them, they're down in the description below. We don't make any commission or anything on those. We just send you the information. And you can find these at many different retailers. It's your favorite brick and mortar retailer or online, either one. Now here's another product that we think you ought to really know about for around the household. Check out this video where we showed the effectiveness of a timeless product that's a cleaner called Barkeeper's Friend. There's quite a story behind it, and it is a wonderful cleaner for a variety of tough cleaning jobs. Check it out. We know you'll like what you see. And also check out this other video that YouTube has chosen for you and thinks you will like, and we think you'll enjoy it as well. Until the next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay getting ready to go do some household janitorial work.